What's going on YouTube? Super Insane 18 here, and today I am bringing you a Despia Albaz deck profile. This is going to include some support from the new structure deck, so if you guys are excited, make sure that you check it out. I've got a lot to show you. This is just a rough draft. I am going to be bringing many more profiles and other content on this deck in the future, including a combo tutorial this coming Friday, so without further ado, let's show you guys what we got. Alright, so like I said, this is a rough draft, so this deck might change in the upcoming days, but this is what I think is good starting off with. So just a bit of a rough template for you guys. You don't have to follow this card for card, but I do think that all of these ratios are pretty good for what they are, so let's go ahead and show you guys. We are going to be starting with 2 copies of Fallen of Albaz. I know a lot of people are only playing this at 1, but I think 2 is a really good number for recursion. Like if they stop your play when you're trying to recur your Albaz, you'll always have another one in your deck. Plus, the summon effect actually isn't that bad if you're going second. You can summon it and essentially super poly your opponent. Granted, it's not as good because they can still respond, but definitely something that's pretty strong. Then we have 1 copy of Spriggan's Kit. This is new from the structure deck. It will allow you to search one of your branded spells, and that is just, and I believe actually it also lets you get one back from the graveyard, so it's just good recursion, and not a bad normal summon if you need it. It can special summon itself if you have a fusion that lists Albaz as a material, so just a overall good card. 2 copies of Despian Tragedy. I don't think that this needs to be at 3 because you're always going to send it to the graveyard from your deck by using the new branded fusion. 3 copies of Albaz the Jester of Despia. This is one of, if not the most important cards in the deck because it does just search you any of your spell traps that you need, most notably the branded fusion, and it is on normal or special, so you can even get it out using something like the branded opening, which is a archetype specific e-telly for the deck. Definitely just an overall good card. We have 1 copy of Dramaturge of Despia. This is really good. It will summon itself back if you use it as fusion material, and then if a fusion is summoned while it's on the field, you can just negate a card effect, and it's a 3k beater. So overall, just a genuinely good card to have. Has a lot of niche in the deck, being able to negate effects and just summon itself back for free. Then we are actually going to be playing a Brave Engine as well. So we have the 3 Enchantress and our 1 copy of Griffin Rider. You'll see in the combo tutorial on Friday, there's actually a 1-card combo using just the Water Enchantress. That gets you into a pretty cool play. Just Water Enchantress guarantees that you get your Mirror Jade, which is pretty cool, so there's that. Then we are playing 1 copy of the Light Hexield. This is a fusion substitute monster. For those of you that don't know the ruling on fusion substitute monsters, they can only be used as substitute for a material if they are in your hand, on your field, or in your graveyard. So using it from the deck off of something like Branded Fusion won't allow it to be a substitute, but since it's a light, you can use it for the effect of the Albion Dragon, which is really good because then the Albion Dragon can banish it from grave as a substitute, which we'll show you more in the combo tutorial, but that's why a lot of people are running the Light Hexiel over like the Dark Hexiel. It's because it's the light, and that matters for when it's not, or specifically when it's in your deck. Then we have the 2 DPE targets, the Celestial and the Dasher. This is just pretty self-explanatory. Any deck that plays DPE needs to play these. And then onto our hand traps, we have 3 copies of Ash Blossom, 3 copies of Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, and then 2 copies of Nibiru. Now the Ogre and the Nibiru can also be your light substitutes for the Albion Dragon if you no longer have your Light Hexiel, like let's say they get rid of it somehow, or I don't know, there's plenty of different ways, but it's just kind of another substitute, and the hand traps never hurt. It does allow you to go second in a scenario where you wouldn't normally be able to go second, so definitely worth playing. Onto our spells, we have the 1 Draco back and the 1 Fateful for the Adventurer engine with the 3 copies of Right. Right is essentially the same as Enchantress, so if you open up just the Right, you can still guarantee your Mirror Jade, and again, that will be shown in the combo tutorial on Friday. We are playing 1 Despia, Theater of the Branded, just a really good field spell. It does allow you to fusion summon, so it's just kind of making sure that you can always fusion summon unless they clear it, but I mean, you have so many ways to fusion summon, it doesn't matter. This is just another way to do so. We are playing 2 copies of Branded in Red. This is a very El Shaddoll Fusion-esque type card. Quick play fusion that lets you, since it's a quick play, summon on your opponent's turn. One of the really big power cards that you can use with this is making the Guardian Chimera, which again will be in the combo tutorial, so make sure you check that out. But you're able to search it off your Albaz and your Spriggan's Kit. So just a very good fusion card. But the most important fusion card is the Branded Fusion, which is kind of like its own Shaddoll Fusion. You are able to fuse using the cards from your deck, but you are locked into fusions for the rest, or for the entire turn. If you, like, let's say link summoned or something before you activated this, you wouldn't be able to activate this. So the turn that you activate the branded fusion, you can only summon fusions from your extra deck, but that's really not a downside for this deck. Then we have our 3 branded opening. This is, like I said, the E-Telly of the deck. It does cost a discard, but it's really not the end of the world. Being able to just special summon out something like Euroluber for absolutely free, get your engine rolling, and it's essentially just a 1-card combo. We have the 1 Foolish Burial. This is mostly for the Enchantress engine, but it also does let you get something like your Despian Tragedy off because it just has to be sent to the graveyard or banished by a card effect. So having the Foolish Burial is a little bit versatile there. And then we have the 2 Fusion Destiny. This is just really standard for the Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer, and that's going to bring the main deck to 41 cards. Let's go ahead and show you guys the extra. Now, the extra deck is something that I'm a little bit hesitant on because there's just so many different options. This is one of the most versatile decks that I've seen in a very long time, just because you're able to fuse into almost anything in the game. So it was really hard to come up with a good extra deck, but I think I was able to nail it. Let me know what you guys think. We're going to start off with 1 Lubellion, the Searing Dragon. This is really kind of your main play because it lets you shuffle back fusion materials from your grave or banished to summon another fusion monster, more often than not, getting you into your copy of Mirror Jade. Mirror Jade is the new boss monster of the deck. It is a non-target banish by sending a fusion material that lists Albaz from your extra deck to the graveyard, which can also combo with other cards in the extra, but more importantly, it's a non-target removal. And if it's destroyed or gotten rid of by your opponent's card effect, then it will also just Raigeki your opponent. But then we have 2 copies of Albion the Branded Dragon. This is one of those cards that the Mirror Jade synergizes with, because if you send the Albion off of the Mirror Jade's cost, during the end phase you'll be able to use the Albion's graveyard effect, that if it's in the graveyard during the end phase, you can set or add a branded spell. So this is more often than not going to set your branded in red, or if you need your branded fusion again, it will set another copy of branded fusion. But its other effect is when it's summoned, you can then banish fusion materials from your field or grave to then fusion summon again. So that's where the Light Hex Seal comes into play. Something that you can do, which is really cool, is if you activate branded fusion, you can send the Albaz and the Light Hex Seal for the Albion. Then Albion can banish the Albaz and the Light Hex Seal for Dragoon, because Red Eyes Dark Dragoon requires a dragon effect, which is Albaz and Dark Magician, which the Light Hex Seal would take the place of, letting you get a 1-card Dragoon off of just branded fusion. Then we are playing 2 copies of Masquerade the Blazing Dragon. This is something that I've seen a lot of people play 1 of, but there's a very specific reason that I want to play 2. If you are playing 2 of these against anything that has to use the Adventure Engine, it's essentially an auto win, because what this will do is they have to pay 600 life points in order to activate any card. So in combination with both of them, that's 1200. The Brave Engine or Adventure Engine is going to cost them either 6,000 or 7,200 just to get through the full engine. So it pretty much means that they can't activate anything else. The reason it varies is depending on whether they open the Enchantress or the Right. If they open the Enchantress, it's going to be 7,200. If they open the Right, it's going to be 6,000. But either way, that leaves them on very little left to be able to actually play the game. So unless they're able to clear them before doing that, it's pretty much a death sentence. Then I'm going to butcher this name, but we're playing 1 Despian Queridus, or yeah, I think it's Queridus. This is going to be your OTK pusher. It will make everything that is not a level 8 or higher fusion 0. So when you have a big board and your opponent's got like just a couple monsters like in attack position or whatever, what you're going to do is you're going to make them all 0 and just swing for game. We are playing the 1 Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer. That's for the Fusion Destiny. We are playing 1 Dragos Depelia. This is just a really good way to have kind of a blanket effect negation. It's kind of like an effect veiler. You target something and put a counter on it. Anything that has the Predaplant counter that it gives it is negated, so and it's a quick effect, so you'll be able to just negate something your opponent summons. The Red Eyes Dark Dragoon for that Albion with the Light Hex Seal play that I just mentioned. And then we are going to play 1 Starving Venom Fusion Dragon and 1 Guardian Chimera. The Guardian Chimera is a really cool play because with the branded fusion, you can make it on your opponent's turn, and that means you'll either be able to pop 2, draw 1, or pop 1, draw 2, depending on the material you use. Either way, it's just additional interruption, which is the important part. And then we are playing 2 links, which is going to be Link Spider and Predaplant Verte Anaconda. You will need to check out the combo video on Friedrich Friday to see why these are important. A lot of people are just playing a bunch of fusion since you lock yourself out, but there is a way that you can not get locked out and use both of these, which again I will show you guys, but that's going to be it for the extra. Let me know what you guys thought. And there you guys have it. That is going to be my Despia Albaz deck profile, including the new structure deck support. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, you know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, and maybe consider supporting me on Patreon, because for just $1 you could support the channel in a way that I would never be able to tell you how much I fully appreciate. Make sure you guys check out the combo tutorial on this coming Friday, as well as making sure that you check out any further Despia content that I make, because I do plan on making a lot of it, including some live duels. So I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching.